Hello everyone, good evening and welcome to your very own Byju's 9th and 10th grade channel. I'm Aishwarya and in our class today we are going to be looking at a quick mind map of the chapter Improvement in Food Resources, and quickly we will follow it up with a quiz where we will solve 12 very important questions from this particular chapter. So please make sure that you have your notebooks and pens ready with you, a bottle of water and a lot of enthusiasm, because in this class and by the end of it, I am sure that you will have a quick revision of the chapter and you would have aced it, right? So I hope all of you are ready for today's class. So I can see Fatima, Priyaranjan, Renuka, Harshit, a lot of you are here already. Welcome to the class. And very quickly, right? You all have been part of this class, and in case if some of you are new to this class and this is the first time you are visiting Byju's 9th and 10th grade channel, or maybe it's the first time you are watching my video, then all you need to do is to hit that like button for this video, hit that subscribe button, because trust me, we have always got you covered, right? So very quickly everybody, I hope all of you are ready for today's class. And yes, I can see a lot of new students are here. Hello Mansa, welcome to our wonderful family, right? To everyone out there who is new, welcome to our family, and trust me that all you need to do is to put a little bit of trust into the 9th and 10th grade channel, and trust me, we will hold your hand till the very end, right? Yes ma'am, we are ready. Okay. So I hope that very quickly my audio, my video and my screen and what I'm writing on the screen is visible to all of you. If it is, please do give me a quick thumbs up in the chat and let's get started. We'll not take any more time, right? Ma'am, screen is shaking. So Epic, if that is the case, very quickly what I would request you to do is, refresh your page and come back, okay? Yes, Renuka, which PDF are you talking about? You will be getting the PDFs in the Telegram channel, okay? Hi, Manishka. Hello. All right. Okay. So now that we are good to go, let's get started, right? So as you know, I keep telling you, right? You have to hit that like button and you need to subscribe to our channel, because here we do everything for you. Starting from in-depth conceptual concepts that are there that we did in our Achiever series. Along with that, we do one-shots, we do, paper analysis, PYQs, we do level up questions, MCQ, critical questions. So trust me, I mean, we are just getting started, to be honest, right? With Jeet Ka Josh series especially, we guaranteed you that we will help you out with your academics and give you end-to-end understanding, and that's what we're doing. So all you need to do is to make sure that you stay subscribed to our channel, because this is all what we have to offer, and there is so much more that is waiting for all of you. Yes? And very important announcement, right? You know that Byju's is on the hunt for India's next quiz master. Yes? So on 18th of November, we are having the live virtual quiz with Kriti ma'am and Khushbu ma'am. And on 30th of November, we are coming live again, where Saurabh sir and I are going to come live. And here the opportunity that we are creating for you and what we have for you is super exciting, right? So what we need you to do is to submit your entries and get registered for the quiz, because one among you have the chance to participate in this, right? So do not forget to register, okay? Link is again there in the description box. And for my 9th graders, here's a quick reminder on the spoken English classes, because as you know, it's a 2-month program which is going to be taught by Cambridge certified teachers, and this is going to be a paid course, but you can check it out and it will definitely help with your English speaking skills, right? So we've been reminding you about this, and in case if you are feeling inquisitive to try, I would recommend that you try, because trust me, it will definitely help you out with it, okay? Yes, hello Manishka, hello. And for those of you who are very new to my class and probably this is the first time that you are meeting me, my name is Aishwarya and I mainly teach biology, and of course I help you out with SST as well. So without wasting any more time, shall we get started? Are we ready? Can we do a quick Josh check and get started? Yes? I hope, Utkarsh, that you get well really soon, right? I want you to get well very soon. Please take care of yourself, okay? Yes, okay, very good. I can see that the Josh is here. All right, okay. So now, of course, I need all of you to also stay focused, right? So sometimes what happens is we tend to wander off. So stay focused in class. We'll wind it up as soon as possible. Yes? Okay. So now in this chapter, if you see, which is improvement in food resources, we mainly spoke about how we can improve the food that we eat, right? Or improve the production of this food. Yes? And mainly as per your syllabus, we will be discussing mainly on crop yields, right? Or plant-based food products. So mainly we learnt about plant-based food products. Now we know that when we grow these important plants at a large scale, we call it as crops. And very quickly, can you tell me what is the first thing we learned with respect to crops? We have two types of crops, no? So what are the two kinds of crops? Yes? Can you all tell me in the chat, what do we mean by the two types of crops that are there? This is very simple and easy. Yes? Very good. Kharif and Rabi crops. So when you are making your mind map, start off with the first part saying types of crops, and then we have Kharif and Rabi crops. So you have Kharif on this side and you have Rabi on this side. Now as you know, write down the points underneath it. Okay, see, I'm not just going to tell you about the chapter, but I'll also tell you how to make the mind map. No? So I need you to focus. So when we talk about Kharif crops, we know Kharif crops have three main important points. When they are sown between June in the monsoon season. So their harvest period is between June to October. It requires good amount of water, which is why they are monsoon crops. And here are some examples. Two examples will be enough. Yes? Now, next up we have Rabi crops, which are also known as winter crops, right? We know that it is mostly grown between November to April season. Relatively less amount of water that is needed, and write down two examples of the same. Yes? Now, on the other hand, after this, we spoke about, now that we know there are various kinds of crops, different crops have different requirements, right? They may require different amount of water, they may require different amount of sunlight, right? So, based on all these factors, we know that there are some techniques which we can implement. So, we have improvement in crop yield. Now, how can we improve the crop yield? So broadly, there will be 3 steps. So in the chat, very quickly, can you all tell me what are the 3 steps? I need the focus in the class. What are the 3 steps that we learnt about, right? When it comes to improvement of crop yield. Yes, everybody, very quickly. Yes? All right, I can see the answers coming in. There are 3 steps that you need to list down, no? One is improvement of crop variety or crop variety improvement. Very good, Mansa. Then we have crop production, right? So crop production improvement and crop protection improvement. So remember this: variety, production, protection. Very good, everybody. Very, very good. So you need to remember these terms, and you can make a box like this. So when we talk about crop variety improvement, we know that it can happen in 2 ways, right? It can happen as genetic improvement or by hybridization. Now, in hybridization, we learnt about interspecific, intervarietal, and intergeneric, and you can write down the definitions in each of these cases. Now, when you are talking about genetic improvement, or I would say genetic modification, you can write the definition on how genetic modification is nothing but when we modify the genetic material to get an improved version of the crop. So are you seeing how we are making the mind map? We started off with crop variety improvement, the main points under this. And this right here is very important on an examination front, right? So let me quickly do this once again. So when we talk about improvement in crop yield, we're talking about how to get good quality crops, right? So here we're talking about how can we get good quality crops, practice some farming practices such that at the end of the day, I am able to meet the demand of food. So the first way is improving the quality of it. So how do you improve the quality? By improving crop variety. Now in crop variety, as you know, you have hybridization and you have genetic improvement or genetic modification. Now hybridization is the crossing of genetically dissimilar plants, right? So if you want to incorporate the definition, I hope that you write it down. That is up to you. So here you can write crossing of genetically dissimilar plants, okay? I think I've made a mistake in the dissimilar spelling, but nonetheless, you can write it, right? Then after that, you have genetic improvement or genetic modifications where you modify the genetic material. Yes? And you can write down some examples. So here, examples are very, very important when you are making your mind map. Are we all able to follow so far? Are we able to follow how to make a mind map of a chapter that is, relatively dry for us, right? Sometimes we struggle a little bit in understanding what is what. So I hope that so far we are clear. Yes? Very good, very good. Now, of course, moving on, the second step is production, right? So crop production improvement. Now, in crop production improvement, you know that you have three broad things, no? So in these three broad things, you have nutrient management, you have irrigation, and then you have cropping patterns. So first you make that bifurcation as 1, 2, and 3. Yes? Then in that, you know about nutrient management, we learnt about manure and fertilizer. So manure here is organic. Now this might be behind me, but fertilizer is inorganic, and you can just make a point like this, and in case if you want to elaborate on it, you can. But a mind map is normally used for revision, right? Which is why I would suggest that you don't write it. But what information you want on your mind map depends on you, okay? Whether you want this to be, detailed mind map, or, if you want it to be, a relatively simple mind map, that is on you. That is why I'm telling, as and when you want to write, wherever you feel like, array, this is a place where I will forget, no? Here is where I'm going to make a mistake. Or here is something that I'm not able to remember how many ever times I try. That is where you need to elaborate, right? So that is something you need to do. Very, very important. I will take you through this whole thing once again, but I need you all to understand how to make it also. This is an outline that I'm giving you. Yes? Okay. All right. So now moving on, we have irrigation, and we know irrigation is nothing but the regular the regular supply of water to the crops, right? So it can be dug through wells, canals, tanks, river systems, rainwater harvesting, and so on. Then finally, we learnt about how in production, cropping patterns are very, very important, right? So we have mixed cropping, intercropping, and crop rotation. Now, very quickly, I want you all to tell me in the chat, how many of you get confused with these three cropping patterns? Do we get confused, or are we clear? Right? Can you tell me very quickly? Yes? Okay. Are we clear? Any of you who struggle with this? Ma'am, I am confused. It's okay, no problem. Yes? No, ma'am, it's crystal clear. So I will anyway tell you, for those of you who are struggling a little with this, but when you are making your mind map, right, for those of you who told me, ma'am, I tend to get confused, right, I don't know what to do about it. So that is when I tell you that for this, I have to move out a little. So for mixed and intercropping, what you should do is you can also write the definition. So when you are writing it, right, so I am bifurcating this part. So you have cropping patterns. Yes? So in cropping patterns, you have three. You have mixed, you have intercropping, and then you have crop rotation. Yes? So between mixed and intercropping is where we tend to get most confused, right? So in mixed cropping, always remember that there are 2 or more crops. Yes? So 2 or more crops grown simultaneously. While on the other hand, in intercropping, again 2 or more crops grown simultaneously in a definite pattern. Remember this, okay? It is in a definite pattern. So it could be in, alternative rows, alternative columns, or whatever, right? So this is very, very important. This particular terminology, that it is in a definite pattern, is important. So are we clear for those of you who are confused with mixed and intercropping? मैम हिंदी में बता दो एक बार. मेरा हिंदी तो बहुत खराब है, आप सबको पता है, बट मैं स्टिल ट्राई करती हूँ. मिक्स्ड क्रॉपिंग उस तरह की क्रॉपिंग होता है जहां पे 2 क्रॉप हम साइमल्टेनियसली ग्रो करते हैं एक ही पीस ऑफ लैंड पे, राइट? इंटरक्रॉपिंग में दो या उसके ज्यादा क्रॉप्स हम ग्रो कर सकते हैं, बट एक डेफिनेट पैटर्न में. ठीक है? ऑल राइट. यस. Are we clear, Epic, or do you want me to repeat once again? Yes? Hello, everybody. Hello. Yes. Okay, I think all right. So now I think so we are clear with this. Now for crop rotation, it is when we grow a same piece of, so in a single piece of land, right? We see that if we grow one crop at one time, then in the next time, so imagine between June to October, I grew one kind of crop. Then from November to December, or from November to maybe February, I will grow another kind of crop. Yes? So that means I am rotating. That means I am alternatively growing crops, right? So that is what I mean by crop rotation. Yes? And examples of the same are there in your textbook also, right? So I think for mixed cropping, one example, if I am able to remember, was wheat and gram, right? So I think wheat and gram is an example for mixed cropping. So this is very, very important. And similarly, I think for intercropping, we had soya bean and maize. Yes, sorry. So we had soya bean and maize, which was an example for intercropping. So write one example and I think we are good to go. Yes? Very good. So very quickly, everybody, I will let you take a screenshot of this once I finish the whole thing off. Okay? Yes. Now the last part of it that is there is the crop protection, right? Now crop protection management is very easy. Yes, so here we have pest control during growth and we talk about how pests affect it and what we can do to reduce pests. And then we also had storage of grains. So with this, if you see, we've had a full chapter mind map on your screens, right? So I'm going to step aside and you can take a screenshot. And once you have taken the screenshot, give me a quick thumbs up and then I will get ahead with the next part, right? Okay, I can see that a lot of you have given me a thumbs up and some of you want the definition of crop rotation, right? So crop rotation can be defined as a cropping pattern where two crops are grown alternatively, right? That means one after the other for efficient nutrient management, right? So are we clear with this? Yes, very good everybody, very good. Are we clear? We'll go ahead. Give me a quick thumbs up. So some of you were asking me for this definition, so you can write this down or you can take a screenshot, no problem, okay? Yes, very good. So now, of course, in case if you are very new to the class and maybe the first class that you have watched, right, has been this mind map class and you want in-depth conceptual understanding, I have taken a one-shot class on improvement in food resources and I've also taken a detailed class on improvement in crop yields. So you can check these two videos out. It will definitely help you, okay? Now, if you also want to know the NCERT exercise and the solutions to it, Ankita ma'am has also taken a class on this. You can check these videos out in our channel, right? And that's why I always tell you, you need to subscribe to our channel at all times. Yes? So now we're going to get started with the questions. Everybody, we're going to have YouTube polls, okay? So before I get started, we're going to have YouTube polls. So are we ready? Yes, are we ready for the questions? So again, very quickly, the thing is with respect to Menti, on a technical front, we are, there is some issues with Menti, which is why we are not, going to be doing Menti, right? Because the platform is not working. That's why we've not been having Menti classes. And up until, Menti gets sorted, we'll be doing quizzes through YouTube polls. Yes? Okay. Ma'am, this is cut in NCERT. See, you have cropping yield, right? So improvement in crop yield is there. But on the other hand, animal husbandry has been cut out, right? Okay, very good. Yes, all right. आपको 10th के लिए माइंड मैप सेशन चाहिए, आप कमेंट्स पे डाल दो ताकि हमारा टीम देख सकता है. तो यही वीडियो के कमेंट्स में आप एक बार let us know. Okay, so let's get started, all right? Here's your first question. Can we have the poll? Okay, among the following, pick out the correct statement. 1. Hybridization means crossing of genetically dissimilar plants. 2. Cross between two varieties is called interspecific hybridization. 3. Introducing genes of desired characters into a plant gives genetically modified crops. Or D. Crossing between plants of two species is called intervarietal. Which among the following is the correct option? Yes? All right. Okay. So now, of course, the timer has started almost immediately, but I will give you some more time to solve this question. Okay. And I hope all of you are answering on the poll. I will have my phone and I'm going to be checking on this as well. So let's see. I can see that a lot of you have answered. Around 50 students are here, but I can see only very few of you have answered on the poll. So you can quickly open the poll and you can answer. This is going to be really helpful. Yes? 29 votes are in. Okay. Very good, everybody. Very good. All right. So let's see which is the correct answer here. I think the votes are still going on. And let's maybe wind up the polls in another last 5 seconds. The poll is done. Okay. Ravi sir has closed the polls. So we have 58% who has voted for option A. All right, while the others said option B. This is between 19% and 13%. Okay. So now if you look at this particular question, option number 1 says that hybridization is the crossing of genetically dissimilar plants. So this statement here is true and this definition is also important. Please put a star mark in your textbook. This they will definitely ask you in your exam, right? Cross between two varieties is called interspecific. No, this statement is false because it's called intervarietal. And introducing genes of desired characteristics into a plant gives a genetically modified crop. This is also true. While cross between plants of two species is called intervarietal. So this again is incorrect, right? We know that this right here is what we call as interspecific when it is between two species. Which is why since 1 and 3 are the correct statements, option A is the correct answer. Okay. So for those of you who got confused with 2 and 4 and maybe 2 and 3, now you know why it is not the correct answer, no? Again, like I told you, we are having some struggles with the Menti platform. That's why we are not able to, do Menti. But nonetheless, we will do YouTube polls. Okay. All right, everybody. So are we ready for the next question? Are we clear with this? Are we clear? These are very, very important questions, especially on an examination front, right? So if you solve these questions, trust me, you are going to be well prepared, for your exam, especially with respect to this chapter. Yes. Now let's move on to the next question. It's an assertion reason question. Assertion says that intercropping prevents pests. Reason being, plant pests can be controlled biologically by their natural parasites and pathogens. Yes? Okay, now you have 4 options from which you need to figure out the correct answer. All right, everybody. So very quickly on your screens, read the statement thoroughly. Okay, it's nice to hear biology is easy for all of you. You're saying it's easy peasy. That's great. Now, very quickly, everybody, I can see around 17 votes have only come. What about the others who are there in class? Take your time and answer. I'm not going to rush you all to answer questions, right? Take your time, understand the question, and then answer it. That's all. There's nothing more to that. And all these questions that you are going to solve today will definitely help you out, okay? 26 votes are in and I'm going to close the votes in the last 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 and let's close the votes. All right, let's see what the results are. 37% of you have said option A, right? While on the other hand, most of you have said option C. Okay, so it is between A, C and D. Not many people have said B. Now let's see what the answer is here. Now we're talking about intercropping, right? Now what is intercropping? Like I told you, intercropping is when you have a piece of land and you grow crops alternatively, right? So either you have a definite pattern, and if you have one crop grown here, then you grow another crop here, so on and so forth, you will be doing it. Yes? Now, one among the advantages of doing intercropping is that they actually prevent pests, okay? So they actually prevent pests. So this statement is true. Yes, it's not that the statement is incorrect. But on the other hand, plant pests can be controlled biologically by their natural parasites and pathogens. This statement is also true. That means both assertion statement and reason statement is true. But now you look at it. Is the reason the correct option, or is the reason the correct way of, the correct reason for the assertion statement? No, right? It's not the correct option. Which is why in this case, the correct answer is option B, not option A, C or D. So are we clear with this? Most of you got confused here, right? So are we clear on this? For those of you who voted for A, C and D, because the majority of you have voted for that. But now we know, right? I voted for B. Very good, Vanshika and Ansh. I'm very proud that you guys got the answer. Yes, but I'm just for those of you who have gotten a little confused or for the other options. No, that is why I'm hope that now it is clear. Yes, very good. Now let's move on to question number 3. Yes, on your screens. So here again we have an assertion reason question. Now use the logic that I told you. Assertion says that fumigation of grains using chemicals is done before storage of warehouses or storage in warehouses. Reason being that fumigation gives a nice color to the grains. Now again, as you know, we have 4 options from which we need to figure out the correct option. So Harish, can we have the poll on screen? Yes? Can we get the YouTube poll on the chat for the students? So we'll be getting the poll very soon. Okay, a lot of you have started to vote. Now the poll is also there for you. Let's see. I'll be opening the chat through my phone. You can check it out on the Anthe website, Chandrasekhar. You can check that out. Yes? Yes, Shrisha, Simran, Purna, I need you to stay focused in class, right? Please do not distract everybody. Okay, you can see that some of the votes are coming in. Very good, very good. So let's wait for a few more and I'm going to wind up, okay? Yes, all right. This is a very direct question. This is not very hard. Okay, so in 3, 2, 1, let's wind up the votes, right? Let's wind up the poll. Okay, so Harish, we can close the poll. Yes, I will take for another half an hour maximum. Half an hour to 40 minutes I will take class. As soon as we finish the questions, we are done, right? So now again, I can see most of you have voted for option number C. Now again, when we talk about fumigation, we know that fumigation is nothing but spraying of chemicals. And we know that normally we fumigate the grains or we fumigate the storage areas before storing the grains, so that if at all there are any unwanted pests or maybe some unwanted organisms, we get rid of it. Now the reason is not because it gives nice color to the grains, right? So we see that this right here is true, but this is false. Which is why the correct answer is option C, like how all of you told me, right? So here full 1 out of 1 mark for you guys on your MCQ. Yes? So now what we're going to do is, so far if you see, you got option 1 correctly, right? So let's have a total score. I'll maintain a leaderboard for all of you, no? So most of you got the first one correct. Most of you made a mistake in the second one. And most of you got this right. So technically it is 2 out of 3 marks that you have scored. Yes. So I'm going to keep a tally of your marks on screen so that you also get to know where you stand as a whole class, right? So now let's move on to the next one. Okay. So here we have a match the following. So you have column 1 and column 2 on the other side. You need to match it, and after that you need to figure out which is the correct option. Yes? So Harish, can we have the poll on screen? Okay. Everybody, please stay focused. Yes? The poll is there. Take your time. Solve the question. This is not going to be very hard. Okay? But I need you all to solve it. So I can see that around 14 votes have come in. Let's increase this vote now. All of you, you can quickly vote and then we will move on, right? Very good, everybody. Very, very good. Answers are coming in. Yes, all right. So most of you are voting for C. The last 30 seconds and I'm going to wind up, right? I mean last 5 seconds, sorry. So 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 and let's wind up the votes. Okay, let's see what the poll results are. Most of you have said option C. Okay, 51% has said option C. Now let's see if this is correct. So now when we are going to do the match, right, we know that nitrogen, phosphorus, potassium are all macronutrients. So 1 will be matched here to 3. Now here we are saying between 2 different species but of the same genus. So we're talking about hybridization, right? And when it is a cross between 2 different species, then we know that it is interspecific. And when it is between 2 different varieties, we call it as intervarietal. Which means last but not the least, wheat plus gram and wheat plus mustard are nothing but examples of crops that are grown together during mixed cropping. Which is why in this case, if you see, the correct answer is option C. So well done everybody, well done. Which means that now out of 5 marks, you have scored 4 marks. Yes? Okay, all right. So now let's move on to question number 5 on your screens, okay? So this right here is a little out of syllabus, but nonetheless, let's do it. Which is the correct combination of fodder crops that are raised as food for livestock? So is it soybean, sesame, castor, lentil, soybean, oats, Sudan grass, millets and lentil, barseem, oats and Sudan grass? So can we have the poll on screen, please? Very quickly, can we have the poll so that you can all vote? And as you know, your class marks are coming on screen. No, I'm constantly making sure that I'm marking it. So very quickly, everybody, what do you think is the correct answer? Very good. So 12 votes are in. Wonderful, wonderful. Yes, all right. Take care, Nikita, take care. But in the meanwhile, all of you quickly vote for the answer on the YouTube poll, all right? Hello, King of the King. Hello. Yes. Okay. Very good. Lot of votes are in. Yes. All right. 30 votes in. And I think let's quickly wind this up. So in 3, 2, 1, let's close the polls. Yes. Let's see what the polls say. I can see most of you have voted for option D, right? So most of you here have voted for option D. And what do you know? It is the correct answer. Well done, everybody. Well done. So if you see, we know that barseem, oats, Sudan grass are a combination of fodder crops that are raised as food for livestock. While on the other hand, we see that 1 out of 2, 3 here are not fodder crops, which is why this is not the correct answer. So with this, if you see out of 5 questions, right, we have got 4 out of 5, right? So I think that was 3 out of 5. So now it is 4 out of 5. Very good, everybody. Very good. You get a smiley and a star mark from me. So we have 5 questions down. We have about another 7 questions to solve. So far, how are you feeling, right? Are you finding this interesting? Are you able to recall the concepts? Is this a good practice for all of you with the chapter Improvement in Food Resources? Yes? Hello, very good, Vanshika, that you've got scored 3 out of 5. I can see some of you have said I've got 5 out of 5. That is great, right? Yes, ma'am, it is good. Exactly. This will help you understand, right? This is actually some of the top-notch questions that are there. And as you know, we also have some important playlists for you which are there in our channel. So here's a quick reminder that in case if you still have not subscribed, please subscribe to the channel. You will find all the videos that you need, right, for 9th grade, right, from maths, from science, and now even SST. You will slowly start finding the videos, right? So do check out the channel and do subscribe to the channel. Yes? Okay. Now let's move on to the next set of questions. So here we have two statements from which we need to identify which is the correct statement. Statement 1 says that cultivation practices and crop yield are related to weather, soil quality and availability of water. Statement 2 being that crop production can go low due to biotic and abiotic stresses under different situations. Which among the four options are the correct answer or is the correct answer? All right, very good everybody, very good. So very quickly, I'm going to give you 30 seconds and then we're going to wind up, right? All right, everyone. I can see a lot of votes have come in, but I'm expecting more number of votes. So very quickly, take your time and just take your time, answer the question. In case if you may drop out at this point, right? Or maybe if you're watching the video much later, always pause the video, try to answer the question, then rush to the solution, right? Done. Okay, so now I'm going to quickly wind up the votes, right? So in another 3, 2, 1 and let's close the votes. So I can see that 67% of you have said option A. So let's see how many of you have got this right. Now statement 1 says that cultivation practices and crop yield. So what do I mean by cultivation practices? Basically my cropping practices and how much of crop I'm going to get. So when I mean crop yield, how much crop am I harvesting? All of these things are related to weather, soil quality and availability of water. So this right here is correct, right? Because we know that for a crop to grow properly, this is important. Now, if there are biotic and abiotic stresses, that means that maybe, there is probably some pests attacking it or some abiotic stresses like not enough water and drought, right? If these conditions are there, then it can affect your crop production, right? And this of course manages on or affects at different situations, which is why statement 2 is also correct. Which is why in this case, if you see, the correct answer here is option A. That means all of you have got 5 out of 6 marks. Very good, everybody. You are consistently progressing. And some of you are individually keeping your scores. And I can see that you're getting 6 out of 6. So well done, everybody. Well done. Now moving on to question number 7, right? So which of the following statements is incorrect regarding manure? So we have 4 options from which you need to identify the correct answer. Yes? So very quickly, everybody, let's have the poll on screen and you can start voting and then we'll discuss the answer. Yes? So well done, Arya. Well done, Trisha, that you are keeping your scores as well. Very proud of all of you that you're doing consistently so well, right? Okay then, now I can also see that it is Shivam's birthday today. So happy birthday, Shivam. Hope that you've had a wonderful day today. So I'm going to give you some more time. You can peacefully answer and then I'll get to explaining this. Okay, so I'm going to just give you some time. Done, ma'am. Amazing, amazing. So whenever you are done with answering, let me know in the chat so that I can wind up the polls, right? Otherwise, now I'm seeing the poll and then I'm trying to figure it out. So whenever you are done, just give me a message in the chat and we'll close the polls. Okay, well done. Lot of you have told me, ma'am, done, done, done. So we have closed the polls. So I can see around 34% has voted for option C. Okay, so now let's see. When we talk about manure, we know that manure are nothing but organic substances which are added to the soil that improves the quality of soil, right? And we know that normally manure is added when there are not enough nutrients in the soil. Now, of course, when we add manure, it does enrich the soil with essential nutrients. And we know that manure add organic matter. At the end of the day, we get it from dead plants and animals, right? Or the decomposition of these dead plants and animals. Now, on the other hand, we know that manure is not something which is easy to store and transport. Now, can you tell me what is easy to store and transport? What is convenient to handle, store and transport? Can you tell me? Yes? In the chat very quickly, what is easy to control, store and handle? Very good. It is fertilizer. It is not food, but rather it is fertilizer, right? Which is why in this case, the correct answer here is option C. So well done. 6 out of 7 marks for all of you, and there you get a star mark for this. 2 star marks, I would say. Wonderful, everybody. Wonderful. Yes? Okay. So shall we move on to the next one? Shall we move on to the next question? So I want all of you to keep your scores as well. It's okay. 5 out of 7. Very good. 6 out of 7 is also a good mark, right? Well done. Yes. Let's move on. Okay. Which of the following statements are true? Generally, insect and pest attack the plants in the following ways. They cut the root, stem and leaf and suck the cell sap. They attack the genetic material of the plant. They bore into the stem and fruits. So which of the following is correct? Very quickly on your screens, you have 4 options from which you need to identify the correct answer. Okay? The poll is there on your screens. You can answer very quickly. So now I can see that a lot of you have not started voting yet. YouTube poll is there on your screen. So everybody quickly start voting. So 15 votes have come in, but once you have finished, let me know and give me a thumbs up in the chat so that I know that most of you are finished, are done with the question, right? Very good, everybody. Very good. Yes. Okay. All right, very good. So a lot of you have completed and I can see 51% has said option A. 1, 2 and 3. Okay, let's see. We're talking about how generally pests attack plants, right? Now what are pests? Pests are nothing but these unwanted insects, right? Or they might be like small animals that come and they destroy the crop, right? So they destroy the crop. Now how can small insects or animals destroy the crop? Here, as you know, they can, attack the roots or they can attack the stem or the leaf. And what they can do is they can suck the cell sap, right? So they can suck the cell sap out of it. Now, on the other hand, they can also bore the stem, fruit and fruits. That means that what happens is that sometimes they will get attached onto the stem and fruit, okay? And they will attack on this manner and they will, sort of eat it out or they will destroy the stem and root. Now, how can they attack the genetic material of the plant? You tell me. How can they attack the genetic material? Genetic material is inside the cell, right? And what attacks the genetic material? Normally are viruses, right? Viruses, they enter into the cell. They take over the host machinery. So in this case, if you see, this is not really the correct answer. This is incorrect with respect to insects and pest attacking plants. So are we clear? We know that it is viruses. It is not pests, right? They cannot attack the genetic material. Yes? Which is why in this case, we see that the correct answer is option C, not option A. So are we clear with this? Are we all clear? Right? So I think we were at 7 points, right? So now we are 7 out of 9 as a class. So are we clear with this for those of you? So in case if you marked option C, then give yourself that 1 mark, right? I hope all of you are keeping tab of how much marks you're scoring. So you can give yourself, but I know the majority of this class voted for option A, which is why as a class, I will be giving you 7 out of 9, okay? Yes, very good. 7 out of 8, sorry. I mean 6 out of 8. I am really losing track of what we are doing. I'm losing track of the number of questions. Yes. Okay, everybody. Very good. Very good. Yes. So are we clear? Are we clear with this concept? Because I don't want you all make your mistakes now. That's not a problem. But in the exam, don't make this mistake. I don't want you to lose marks, right? I never want you to lose marks. Yes? Now, Omna, if you want to give the quiz, then all you need to do is be part of the live and make sure that you mark the answer in the poll. Okay? Now, moving on to question number 9. Which of the following combination of crop will give maximum yield in mixed cropping? Oat plus rice, then we have wheat plus peanut, wheat plus maize, wheat plus millet. Now, I'll give you a hint. I may have mentioned this in the beginning of the class already. So your time for this starts now. So can we have the poll? Very quickly, everybody, very quickly. Answer in the poll. The poll is there on the YouTube live chat, right? And once you are done, give me a thumbs up in the chat. Very good. This is a very easy one. And again, remember, right, that I have mentioned this vaguely before. Okay, so 3, 2, 1, and let's close the votes. Now I can see 45% has told option number C. Okay. But in this case, it is actually option number B, right? It is option number B, which is wheat plus peanut. Okay. Which is why the correct answer here is option B. So I wouldn't have said wheat plus maize. If you think about it, I would have said wheat plus maybe soybean. It was not maize, right? Yeah, so it is wheat plus peanut. Okay. Which is why the correct answer. We're talking about mixed cropping here, no? Now think about it very logically. If it is going to be option C here, wheat and rice you have to grow at the same time. Maize here again, maize, rice and everything, these are kharif crops, no? So either what you need to do, if you're sowing it with wheat, you cannot sow a kharif and a, rabi crop at the same time, right? So in this case, if you think about it, the correct answer here is option number B. Yes? Millet is a gram. No, we normally say millet is like, what do you say? It's a fine, coarse grain that is there. Yes? Okay, moving on to the next one. So I think now we are at 6 out of 9, right? So we were 6 out of 8. Now it has become 6 out of 9. So now let's move on. Assertion, reason, question. Assertion says that nitrogen is a micronutrient. Reason being that micronutrients are nutrients which are required in small quantities. So which among the following statements are correct? So as you know, you have 30 seconds for this and your time for this starts now. Okay? No problem, Aditi, no problem. We're just doing an important quiz with respect to improvement in food resources. All right, everybody. So I can see that a lot of you are, you're getting the answers. We are 6 out of 9, but don't worry. I think we'll wind up in another 5-10 more minutes because we have only 12 questions, right? So we'll be done mostly. मैम पोल शो नहीं हो रहा है, आपके चैट में देख लीजिए, आपको अभी पोल मिलेगा. Okay, let's see. This is a very easy question, guys. Super duper easy peasy question. Nothing very hard. Okay. And the poll is done and 54% of you have got and marked the answer as option number D. That assertion is false but reason is true. Okay. So let's have a look at it. The assertion statement says that nitrogen is a micronutrient. Now we know that broadly nutrients are going to be of two kinds, right? So we have micronutrients and we have macronutrients. So micronutrients are those which are required in small quantities and macro are those which are required in large. So in this case, when you think about it, we know that NPK, that means nitrogen, phosphorus and potassium, these are required in large quantities. So can we say nitrogen is a micronutrient? No, this is incorrect. But reason being that is there, the reason says that micronutrients are nutrients required in small quantities. So this right here is true. Which is why in this case the correct answer here is option D. So very good everybody, very good. So you have got 7 out of 10, which is a really good mark, right? So here you get 2 stars for this. And very quickly everybody, I know that a lot of you are here who are telling me your score. You've got 7 out of 10, you've got 9 out of 10, and you've got 8 out of 10. So well done that you are all keeping score of your progress. And I hope that you are also understanding where you are making the mistakes so that you can correct yourself in the exam, right? And very quickly, if you are enjoying this class, if you're finding this helpful, then you know what to do. You know that you have to like the video, right? You know you have to subscribe to the channel. And these are only 2 things that we are asking in turn for everything that we are doing, right? All we need is the love that you give, and love us by liking the video, right? Okay, very good everybody. Some of you have got 10 out of 10 also. Very proud of you. Now moving on to question number 11. Okay, so to solve the problem of the country, which among the following is necessary? Increased production and storage of food grains, easy access of people to food grains, people should have money to purchase the grains, or is it all of the above? So the poll is there on your screens and I hope all of you are ready. Yes? So let's get started, right? So you can start voting and I'm going to start the countdown now. All right. This again is very easy. If you remember watching my one shot or improvement in crop yield, this is something that I have discussed in great detail, no? And this is important to understand the chapter as to why we need to learn improvement in food resources, right? Not just about remembering a bunch of concepts. 30 seconds and we're going to wind up soon. 34 votes in. And time is going to be up very soon. So Harish, I think we can close the polls. Well done. 72% of you have marked D. Now when you talk about solving the food problem of the country, we know that the country is, when we talk about the demands of the country, right? We know that there is an increase in demand for food, right? So there's an increase in the demand for food simply because of the increasing population, right? So we see that there is an increase in the population. Now at this case, we see that what should we do? If there's an increase in demand, we should increase the production. And if we produce it more, then we need to store it as well. And we should make sure that not just about, producing it at a large scale and making it very expensive for people to buy. It should also be very affordable to the people, right? And people should be having money to purchase. And this is exactly what we mean by food security, right? So we must be able to have food security where we are able to produce, but at the same time, people are able to afford. Which is why in this case, the correct answer, as all of you have told me, is option number D, right? So here, as you know, we have got 8 out of 11. Well done, everybody. Well done. Yes? Now, shall we move on to the last question for today? Yes? Last and final question. Weeds are unwanted plants that grow along with the cultivated plants. How do they exactly affect the crop plants? A, by killing the plants in the field before they grow, by dominating the plants to grow, by competing for various resources of plants causing low availability of nutrients, or is it all of the above? So you have 30 seconds on your screen. Yes, everybody, are we ready? And the time starts now. This is a very easy question. This is very simple and easy. Yes, very good. Food security is availability, accessibility, and affordability. Yes. How did your exam go, Meenakshi? Yes. Please do tell me. So the time is on the screen and Hari sir is going to close the poll very soon. So let's have a look. And time is almost up. The poll is going to close. Now, most of you have said D. Okay. Most of you, I think the poll says yes. 59% of you have said D. Okay. So now option A says that, so here we're talking about how weeds affect crop plants, no? Now we're saying that they kill the plant, so by killing the plants in the field before they grow. That's not what they do, right? Weeds are unwanted plants that grow along with the cultivated crops. They are not killing anything by dominating the plants to grow. Okay, they are not dominating, they're competing with them for nutrition, right? But at the same time, they are not, dominating and telling the other plant to grow. No, but rather they are competing for various resources and making sure that there is low availability of nutrients, right? Which is why in this case, the correct answer is option C. Guys, what happened? So here, this is where I tell you, right? You need to have a look, right? Read the options thoroughly. Because what will happen if you don't spend time reading the options, if you don't spend your time reading the question, you will make mistakes, right? Now, a majority of you gave me the answer as D, but in case if you have given yourself the correct answer, give yourself that 1 mark, right? So in this case, if you see totally, we have got 9 out of 12, right? I think it is 9 out of 12. Let me go back and check. Yes, okay. So I think it is 9 out of 12. 8 out of 12. Wherein we got 4 wrong, but it's okay as a class. No, but are we clear? Yes? Are we clear with the concepts? Now, if you've made mistakes in today's class or if you've made some mistakes in some of the questions, it's completely okay, okay? Nothing is wrong there. As long as if you've made an error, have you understood where you made the error? Have you understood that, okay, this is exactly what I need to focus on? That is all that I need to know, right? Ma'am, could you explain this question once again? Of course. See, they have told you that weeds are unwanted plants that grow along with the cultivated plants. Now, they want to know how exactly they affect crop plants. Now, we know that weeds don't kill the plants in the field, right? They are unwanted plants, but they will not kill the crop plants that are there. They don't do that. Now, they're saying that they dominate the plants to grow. That doesn't even make sense, right? These are competing, but they're not dominating and telling the other crop plants to grow. Which is why what they actually do is they compete for various resources like nutrients, like water, and at the end of the day, it causes low availability of nutrients, and that is why the crop yield or the crop plant will not grow properly. Which is why in this case, the correct answer is option C. Ma'am, I didn't get the assertion reasoning in the second question. Okay, let me go to the second question. Okay. It says that, assertion says that intercropping prevents pests, reason being that plant pests can be controlled biologically. See, like I told you, what is intercropping? Intercropping is when you take a piece of land, right, and you grow crops one after the other, right, and you have a definite, alternative, you grow crops one after the other in a definite pattern. So that means you are growing it simultaneously at the same time. That means, but one, in a definite pattern. So it could be in rows. So if I have one crop here, then there will be a second crop in the middle, then again one more crop, right? Now on the other hand, we know that on doing this, why are we practicing intercropping? Chuma, because we know that we'll grow more crops. Is that it? No, there are many reasons. One, of course, is effective nutrient management. But apart from that, it also helps in preventing pests. So there are some pests which may come and attack one crop, but because you are putting another crop in between, they cannot easily come and attack it, right? Which is why we see that this statement is true. But your reason statement says that plant pests can be controlled biologically. So we know that there are some biological control agents or BCA which can act or kill the pests directly. No? So that is also true. But is this the reason for assertion? No. Right? Which is why assertion and reason is true, but the reason is not the correct explanation for the statement. So are we clear with this? Yes? Are we clear? Very quickly, for those of you who told me that ma'am, मेरे को ये question समझ नहीं आया. Okay, Tanuja, fine. So with this, of course, if you see, we come to the end of today's class, right? Now, this class again is a very important class, and I hope now improvement in food resources has become super duper easy. Yes. Ha Krishna, I think you are asking me about mixed and intercropping. I think I gave it in the beginning of the class, but nonetheless I'll write it down. So mixed cropping is when you grow 2 or more crops simultaneously in a piece of land, right? While intercropping that is there is when you grow 2 or more crops in the same piece of land in a definite pattern. I hope now we are clear. Yes? Thank you, honey, for helping me out with the definition. You can take a screenshot of this and you can let me know, and then I'll move on, okay? Okay, all right. So I think with this we will wind up, right? Now, of course, with this, if you see, your 9th grade syllabus has been more or less covered, right? Now, when you talk about the biology syllabus, whether it is fundamental unit of life and tissues, along with improvement in food resources, we have actually completed our syllabus. And end to end, we have done it on our channel. So if you need any quick revision, do let us know, right? And very quickly, of course, you know that Byju's 9th and 10th grade channel has got you covered. You will get the PDF of this session on Telegram, so you can stay subscribed to our Telegram channel. And the link again, if you want to join our Telegram channel, is there in the description box. Now, I know that in the channel as well, if you would have seen, if you would have subscribed, you know that there is a poll asking all of you, right? Do you want diversity in living organisms? Yes? How many of you want a quick understanding of diversity in living organisms? How many of you want that? You can give me a quick thumbs up so that I know. Yes, ma'am, me. Okay. So if you want diversity in living organisms, let me know in the comment section, right? Let me know in the comment section. Get all of your friends. Tell them also to come and comment in this video so that, you know, they will let me know and I can tell the team as well, right? So let me know in the comments if you need diversity in living organisms. If you have any more doubts, let me know in the comments as well. I will reply to you and I will get your doubts solved. And yes, I know it's cut from the syllabus. That's why this is going to be an extra topic that we are picking, because for your 11th grade, right, now you will not realize it. But when you go to 11th standard, no, that is when this chapter becomes very scary and we don't want that to happen, right? Which is why what we want to do is to prepare you, give you a quick understanding of it so that when you go to 11th standard, it becomes easy peasy for you, right? And that's what we mean by we have got you covered, right? Not just for 9th standard, 10th standard. We think about your future and truly we do that, yes? So please make sure that you like the video, you share this video with your friends, and you stay subscribed to our channel. Yes? Alright everybody, so with this we are going to be winding up. I will see you all very soon again. Bye bye and have a nice day.